Hello everybody, Frankie here from Vibrant Center for Voice and Movement, and this is part 2 of the video that I started yesterday where we were exploring some Butoh exercises, and then I was also explaining how useful they can be for actors when building realistic performances. So this next part requires a water bottle. If you've got one, excellent. If not, you're going to work with what I give you and be able to use your imagination to find that sensation in your body. So to start off with, let's do a little bit of a warm-up. So I want you to find your feet hip distance apart. Let's back this up. Here we go. So your feet are hip distance apart, and I just want you to find a gentle bend and release in your knees. Let your jaw go, let your tongue soften, and let your breath, just do whatever your breath would like to do. And now start to connect with the image of the water in your body. See the ocean inside of yourself, only separated from the outside by this layer of skin. You are a sack of skin holding the ocean inside. And let your breath go. And occasionally let some exhalations on fluffy sound come out. Just a little H. And then your sac springs a leak and the ocean starts to rush out your index right finger. And then goes back, letting that ocean move inside you. Find the middle finger of your left arm and spring a leak. Maybe both arms spring a leak. Maybe your leg springs a leak. And the other leg. And of course you can spring a leak out front. You could spring a leak out to the side. You could spring a leak out behind. Explore that with your whole body. And then let that get a little smaller, and a little smaller, and then a little smaller. And now I want you to focus all of your vibrations in your tailbone. Draw a figure 8 with your tailbone and breathe here. And what are all the planes that your tailbone can draw on, right? It could draw a figure 8 forward and back. It could draw a figure 8 side to side. It could draw a figure 8 down and up. And also, of course, don't forget that you have angles, so your pelvis can turn as you draw figures of 8. And notice how the rest of your body follows. And if something feels a little tight, go back to waking that ocean up inside of you. Let the jaw go. Let the tongue soften. And find an occasional exhalation on sound. And then find your figure 8 again. Notice how that figure of 8 translates into the head, translates into the shoulders, and you can slow down your figure of 8. And you can speed up your figure of 8. Imagine you have a pencil that's dropping out of your tailbone or a stick, and you're carving symbols into the earth below you. Let your jaw go. And then go back to the water body one more time. Finding the bend and straightening your knees, very soft here. Let the jaw go. And let that get a little smaller. And then a little smaller. And a little smaller. Until you can still feel that you contain oceans, vast, deep, expansive oceans with life teeming inside. But to an outside observer, perhaps the outer layer of your body looks still. Notice what sensations you feel in your body in this moment. Let the eyeballs soften in their sockets. Let the jawbone soften in its socket. Let the glutes unclench. Feel your weight dropping to the floor and feel how your skeleton is supporting you. What muscle tension can you let go? Can you allow it to soften and melt? And then in a moment, take a breath and exhale on sound. And shake that out. Nice. So back to the water bottle. I promised a water bottle last time and we ran out of time. So this time we're going to be working with the idea of water. And here is what you've just been doing. Moving the waters inside of you. Feeling how they move through your container. So just listen to the sounds. And now find your standing corpse. Find your feet underneath you, about 2 fists or hip distance apart. Soften your knees, soften your jaw. Feel your breath in your body. Notice the inhalation of air. Where do you feel your body taking in that air? And notice the exhalation as you release your breath into the space around you. And find that subtle, silent place after your exhale before you inhale again. And take a moment of stillness here and pause. And find that desire for inhalation. And now bring to your memory that sound of the water. You can keep your eyes closed. Place that sound in your sternum. Keep letting the jaw go. Keep exhaling on sound. How does that sound move through your sternum? The big place where the ribs come together here at the front. Can you soften your sternum and take on the qualities of water? And then can you bring that sound into your pelvis? Can you roll that sound around your pelvic bowl as you breathe? And then can you bring that sound to your head? Roll that sound around your skull. Let your skull be otherwise empty. And then take that into movement. Is it a direct or an indirect movement? Is it sustained? So does it seem to have no end and no beginning, or is it sudden and sharp? Where's the weight of this sound as it turns into movement in your body? And let that go in 3, 2, 1. Notice your empty skull, your wide pelvic bowl, and your softened sternum. Come back to your breath. Find that moment of pause before you inhale. And let this go in 3, 2, 1. Have a little shake. Oh, and a little sound. Oh, nice. So one more way that we're going to use this water bottle for inspiration is, let's see how well I can do with capturing this, water droplets. There we go. So there's water that drops quickly, and then there's water that stays behind. Oh, look at that. And then also what's amazing about water is that once a pathway has been carved, then the droplets afterwards follow that same pathway for the most part. And then occasionally you have a little rogue. There you go, I'm turning the water bottle a little bit so we can have some different rivulets. Ah, there we go, beautiful. Oh, I'm pleased with that. Okay, so if you have your own water bottle, you can do this, or you can look at the image that I'm giving you and use your imagination. What would that feel like on your body? And then those remaining water droplets coming down your skin. And knowing, of course, that as you move, the remaining droplets also can move. Yeah, there it is. Right? And what's amazing about water droplets is they can kind of get stuck, and then they can all of a sudden move very, very quickly. So you have lots of images and possible sensations to work with. And so before we were focusing on the center, the sternum, the pelvis, and the skull. And then this time I want you to investigate these sensations and these images with your extremities. So let's start with your fingertips. Can you imagine water dropping off your fingertips and you're scattering water all around you? Let your breath go. And perhaps you have an image for the source of this water. Is it streaming out of your heart? Is it streaming out of your eyes? Is it pouring off your lips? As these water droplets fall off your fingertips and water the earth below. And there's different speeds. We investigated how the water droplets can be very, very slow, and then all of a sudden have this very quick movement. And so investigate the difference between suspension and then movement. And then what do these water droplets do as they drip off your toes? Are they pouring still from your eyes or your lips? Are they pouring from your heart? All the way down your toes onto the earth below, playing with different speeds. And take this into a walk around the room. Notice your breath as you move your body in this way. And find some sound. And you're going to let this go, finding your standing corpse. Whew. Find your breath again here. Find your inhalation and your exhalation. And take this experience, feel your body fully in this moment. Breathe it in. And on the next exhalation, I want you to exhale it all, letting it drain out of your body and drop into the earth, leaving behind little droplets that will stay with you. Give yourself a gentle shake. Find a twist side to side. Ooh, there's my hip. So looking over your right shoulder and your left shoulder, finding a nice bend in the knees. Letting the arms float around you. Letting your breath go. Letting this get a little smaller. And a little smaller. And a little smaller. And then letting yourself get smaller and smaller until you find your center. And release. Beautiful. So again, if you are an actor and you're very focused on realism, which is perfectly fine, these practices not only just help you to get your joints released, your breath moving from your body, you more sensitized to the connection between your body and impulse and imagination, but also, for me, it's a matter of scale. That perhaps I can do something that's like a big Butoh type dance, but if I want to turn it into a realistic type of character or delivery, I might use an image like that water droplet, and that might inform the way that I like to talk in this character. Or it might influence a sensation that I create that I'm reacting to in a performance. However you wish to use it. It's so important to find connection to image because we have a lot of muscles in our body that we can't consciously control, but they do react to images. This is something that a lot of opera singers will also work with, is that if they're trying to find these really high notes or they're trying to do these amazing dynamic movements with their voice as they go through pitches, is they'll use an image, for example, like the idea of turning something over and over and over and over again, and that's how they're able to stay open and to be able to find that range. So a lot of people who work with voice and work with performance love using powerful images, which can also create sensations, to be able to talk to the autonomic nervous system and the muscles that don't just obey our conscious controls. It also makes us more nuanced and more layered and more mature as performers. So there is your Butoh exercise for today. And take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.